Hi, everybody. Welcome to the DCP season recap. I'm Kyle Durrett, and today we'll be going over our first long game, Exile Island, filmed in March and April of 2021. This season features production members Lily, Greg, and John, and also features former host Lauren Pratt. The season began with the 16 castaways gathering for the marooning. They split into two tribes named after the hosts of the Specialist podcast, Phil and Alexa. The Alexa tribe consisted of Austin, Michael Zucker, Mackenzie, John, Gabby, Andrew, Connor, and Jim. The Phil tribe consisted of Victoria, Bill, Lauren, Alex, Mike Simmons, Will, Greg, and Lily. Mere hours into the game, John found the hidden immunity idol on the Alexa tribe, and Will found it on the Phil tribe. At the first immunity challenge, tribes competed in stages, completing various tasks. The Phil tribe struggled at flipping water bottles, costing them time. The final stage was a word puzzle, which said, "Find safety on Exile Island." In the end, the Phil tribe fell too far behind, sending them to the first tribal council of the season.
Find safety on Exile Island.
The Alexa tribe wins immunity.
This was the first time that players found out about this season's big twist.
This is not just Survivor. This is Survivor Exile Island. As the winners of this immunity challenge, you have also won the right to choose someone from the losing tribe to go to Exile Island. That individual person will then in turn choose someone from the winning tribe to join them.
Due to her poor challenge performance, the Alexa tribe sent Lauren to Exile Island, where she would be safe from tribal council. She had to choose someone from the other tribe to join her, and she chose Mackenzie. At the Phil camp, with Lauren gone, an alliance of Greg, Lily, Alex, and Simmons came together, naming themselves Glam. They originally targeted Victoria, but ultimately decided to vote out Will, sending him home and the idol along with him.
I swear, if it's Mike and Alex, running that tribe, the Dude Bros, be pissed. I wonder who that other vote for Victoria was then, because someone else is blindsided at the same time. So one of Greg and Lily are on the outs. They would have showed it. They would have showed 4-3, but they showed 5-2. Bill voted me out. God, what? Finally, I'll say just good luck to the Phil tribe. One of you guys better win this game.
Episode 3 begins with Lauren solving a clue she got in her urn from Exile Island. She received the Legacy Safety Without Power advantage, which allowed her to send herself or someone else out of tribal council before the votes were cast. But if she got voted out with it, she would have to will it to someone else in the game. At the challenge, the Phil tribe rebounded from their loss and sent the Alexa tribe to their first tribal council.
That was good.
Alexa wins immunity.
Yes!
We did it!
Good job, guys.
When it came time to send someone to exile, Connor spoke up and requested that the Phil tribe send him.
I would like to volunteer to go to Exile Island, and I would also like to propose that I will choose from your tribe, if I'm able to, who goes with me. You guys can choose. I'll let you choose.
They did not oblige, instead selecting to send Andrew, and he picked Lily to join him. At the Alexa camp, John told Mackenzie and Austin that he had the idol, and they planned to vote out Gabby for being on the outs. The rest of the tribe got on board, and Gabby was voted out unanimously.
I thought it was a bad move because when Mackenzie said she was going to come for the people that were coming after her, I was never coming after her, so I don't know why she would say that. I mean, it makes sense for Austin because I was voting for him, but everyone else was supposedly in my alliance? They don't know me as well as they think they do, because they should have known I would have never turned on them.
It's time to shake up the game with a tribe swap, where each tribe voted to select a captain. Lauren was captain of the Phil tribe, and Connor was captain of the Alexa tribe. A schoolyard pick followed, and 2 new tribes of 7 were formed. A new idol clue was put into play at Phil Beach, and with Greg's help, Lauren found the idol on the new Phil tribe. At the challenge, tribes faced off in a battle of survivor trivia. Thanks to Andrew and Zucker, the new Alexa tribe pulled out the victory and sent Lauren back to exile, and she chose Simmons to join her. With Lauren being on exile and an OG Phil member, the rest of the tribe was split 3-3 between original Phil and Alexa. Mackenzie tried to get the votes on her so she would be safe from the wheel.
I'm gonna get my tribe mates to vote for Greg, because then Greg will be the only one safe from the former Phil tribe when we draw rocks. He won't have to draw rocks. He'll have immunity, essentially. I am going to try and get Greg to get his people to vote for me.
But the OG Phil tribe didn't go for it. Greg knew he was getting the votes from the Alexa tribe and made sure his original tribe mates vote with him. The vote ended up being deadlocked between Jim and Greg, and Bill was sent home by the wheel.
3 votes Greg, 3 votes Jim, which means we are going to rocks. Good luck, everyone.
Victoria, we got this. Think happy thoughts.
Here we go.
When I ever wanted to go out, it was on a rock draw. So there's a bucket list item gone. This was amazing fun. I am very much rooting for OG Phil, and especially for Victoria and Greg, who are my people who stuck to their words.
At the next challenge, players were required to stand up for as close to 10 minutes as possible. During this, they were subjected to a children's story about Penelope Rex, read by host Ian Moorhead.
Penelope Rex was nervous. It's not every day a little T-Rex starts school.
Andrew stood closest to 10 minutes, winning it for the Alexa tribe, sending the Phil tribe back to tribal council. Greg was selected to go to exile, and he chose Alex to go with him. The OG Alexas had the majority and wanted to vote out Victoria, but Mackenzie and Austin briefly entertained the idea of turning on Jim. Lauren and Mackenzie also proposed a fake girls alliance to Victoria. In the end, the Alexa tribe stayed strong, and Victoria was voted out.
So I'm definitely very grateful to be part of this ORG experience, especially Ian and Morgan, who hosted the show, and all of production. And I think the main thing is I'm just very grateful for this experience. I was pretty sure I would be the one voted out tonight, so I'm not too surprised about that. I'm a bit disappointed, but I think overall the experience is the most important for me. So I really enjoyed being on the show.
Episode 6 began with another swap, but this time into 3 tribes, and the intern tribe was formed. The players were randomly assigned new tribes and competed in the Survivor 4x4 relay, completing various tasks. The first tribe to finish won immunity. The Alexa tribe finished first.
Alexa tribe is done. They win immunity.
Sending the Phil and intern tribes to a joint tribal council, where they would vote one person out. Connor once again volunteered to go to exile.
I'd like to volunteer as tribute yet again.
But it didn't work. Again. Ultimately, Lily was selected, and she chose Mackenzie to join her. Thinking the merge would be next, the OG Phil members were scrambling because they were at a 5-2 disadvantage. Lauren seemed like an obvious target, but Andrew wanted to target Connor for being too volatile of a player to take into the merge. He recruited Lauren, Austin, Jim, and Greg to get 5 votes on Connor, leaving Zucker out of the vote. Despite being in the majority, Lauren still wanted to cover her bases and played her idol anyway, negating 2 votes against her, and the rest went to Connor. He was sent home, and Michael Zucker was left stunned.
I had a lot of fun playing the game. When Lauren played the idol, I figured I was gone. I still don't know what happened with that. Obviously, it didn't matter if they flipped, because even if they didn't, and all voted Lauren like they said, I would still be gone. I think it was a stupid move on on Andrew and Jim's part. Austin, I was probably going to gun for him down the line, and Greg. It was a good move on Lauren's part, obviously, to get me out, because I voted for her. And Greg, I actually would have worked with you to the end, like I said I would. But I did have fun playing. It just sucks that I'm out.
The episode ends with the 11 remaining players find out that they have been merged. This new group called themselves the Paya Tribe, an acronym created by Jim composed of the first letter of each of the tribes from this season. After the merge, the Glam Alliance from the OG Phil tribe was able to reunite. A new idol clue was put into play, and John quickly solved it, earning him a second idol. At the challenge, players had to balance ping pong balls on a paddle. Lauren outlasted everyone else and won the first individual immunity of the season. Andrew tried to put a target on John and Lauren, and once John found out, he set his sights on Andrew. Glam wanted to target Jim, but Simmons and Greg sided with John, Austin, and Zucker to form the Squaw to take out Andrew. Lily knew the plan, but voted for Jim anyway, and Alex and Andrew were completely left out. Everyone else voted for Andrew, and he became the first member of the jury.
Well, the reason I put my hat on right before the votes were read was I started to get suspicious, and I told everyone I would tip my hat to everyone if I were to get voted out. And I wasn't wearing my hat until I started getting suspicious. And then when I saw the first Andrew pop up, I'm like, yeah, they got me. But it's fine. It's part of the game. I've really enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun, and whether she voted for me or not, I'm hoping that Lily does win. But we've got a long way to go. We've got a couple more weeks before we get to that point.
Following Tribal Council, Alex and Lily both felt on the outs and knew they had a lot of work to do to get back into a good position.
Mackenzie tipped me off that Alex nor Jim was going home. I was able to deduce it was Andrew. Tried to get Greg involved. I called Greg. He basically pretended like he had no idea about the plan.
Mike and Greg, supposed to be two of my closest allies, knew about the plan, didn't inform me. I was sweating bullets. I thought I might be going home. So I'm feeling pretty at the bottom right now.
At the challenge, players competed in various tasks, where round by round, a certain number of people were eliminated. Simmons was victorious, winning his first immunity of the season. Heading into Tribal Council, the OG Alexis plus Lauren had the majority, leaving Glam on the outs, and Alex as the main target. However, Lauren and Mackenzie came up with a different plan instead. Those two, along with Alex, Lily, Greg, and Jim, came together to blindside Zucker. John played one of his idols, but it didn't matter, as Zucker got the majority of the votes and was the second member of the jury.
Again, no hard feelings. I thoroughly enjoyed this game. I got to meet 15 other people who love Survivor as much as I do. And I look forward to being a member of the jury where I can kind of watch a little more relaxed and see how the rest of the game unfolds. And after all said and done, I look forward to talking to everyone in a more stress-free environment and just getting to know them even more than I have so far. So great experience. I'm glad I did it. And who knows, maybe it'll prepare me for the real thing one day.
Episode 9 begins with John having some choice words for Mackenzie.
You f***ed us, Mackenzie!
And Lauren.
That doesn't cut it!
At the challenge, players held dice in between two pencils, adding more dice as time went on. Before the challenge started, players had the option to set out for an advantage clue, which Lily and Mackenzie opted for. Simmons outlasted everyone else and won his second immunity of the season. Lily solved the clue and received a steal-a-vote advantage. Since the majority alliance turned on themselves, Glam realized they had a chance to work together and take control of the game. Simmons came up with a plan to vote out Mackenzie, and since John was still mad about the Zucker vote, Glam easily pulled him in to get a majority. At Tribal Council, John played his second idol, negating 1 vote against him. Alex and Jim received votes as well, but the 5 votes from Mackenzie sent her to the jury.
I'm definitely blindsided, but at the same time, like, I wasn't loyal to anybody. I was a super messy player, and I really hope that it was Austin and Mike at the end that did vote with me. That would have been pretty cool, but you know, I'm definitely disappointed that Lauren didn't kind of clue me in on it. I think I'll probably mourn this a little bit, but mostly it's just honestly really good timing. And I get it. I kept trying to switch up the game, kept trying to switch up the votes. And there's like, you know, when you play that hard, there's only so long you can last. I really hope that Greg wins it all because he's my bestie. And honestly, I'm going to really miss talking to him every day. But if not, hopefully it's Lauren.
Immediately following Tribal Council, the final 8 competed in their next immunity challenge. This time, they had to memorize sequences of playing cards, and John pulled out his first immunity win. A trio of John, Lauren, and Austin came together and conspired to target Greg. Alex and Simmons both acknowledged that Greg would be a threat soon. Ultimately, Glam stayed together and targeted Lauren. To ensure their success, Lily used her steal a vote on John at Tribal Council.
And now, for a little bit of vindication against John and his lack of ability to trust me, I'm also casting his vote for Lauren. Even if I go home using this double vote, I have to somehow prove that I'm in this game.
Austin was the only one who sided with Lauren, and she was voted out. Once again, the players immediately competed in their next immunity challenge. The first part was to pick a number between 1 and 1,000. Somehow, John and Jim both selected 224.
My favorite number from 1 to 1,000, 982, which means that for some reason, John and Jim will be doing this again with a different number. Jesus.
Forcing them to pick another number. Jim was the furthest away and was out of the challenge, but was forced to pick the next person to be out of the challenge. This continued until the last remaining person, Alex, won immunity by default. Another tribal council immediately followed, and John was voted out. The episode ends with John and Lauren finding out that Exile Island was not over, and that the two of them would compete head-to-head for a second chance in the game. Episode 11 began with the Exile challenge between John and Lauren. They had to stand with arms wide open, holding 2 cups with a ping pong ball on top. John won the challenge and returned to the game, while Lauren became the 4th member of the jury.
Hey, what can you do? You give it your best shot. You can't win them all. And Johnny boy, go get them. I had a blast. I met some great people and no regrets on my end. I am hopeful that some people aren't as bitter on the jury, so we'll see how they feel about it. But at the end of the day, what can you do? It's a game overall, and I hope everyone enjoyed themselves as much as I did.
She needed to will her safety without power advantage to someone, and she chose Greg. Another hidden immunity idol was put into play, and Alex revealed that he had found it. At the immunity challenge, players competed in rounds of extreme flip cup. Greg's skills carried him through, and he won his first individual immunity. With the next biggest threat now safe, John's fate was all but sealed. He tried one last desperate move by hosting a funeral for himself. However, this tactic was unsuccessful, and John was voted out for the second and final time this season.
Can't say I expected much more tonight. It is what it is. These players are pathetic. They're not playing for themselves, they're playing for each other. And they all seem to think that it's kumbaya in the end of the day. They're gonna have one hell of a time trying to get my jury vote.
Episode 12 began with the next immunity challenge, in which players balanced dice on the end of a ping pong ball paddle. Simmons outlasted everyone else and won his 3rd individual immunity. The players were then informed that Tribal Council would be that night, and that they only had a few minutes to strategize in breakout rooms. Everyone wanted to target Greg, but this was the last round that he could play the safety without power, so he had guaranteed safety this round. This left Jim and Austin as the 2 obvious targets. Alex and Simmons thought Greg would try to use Jim going forward, so they targeted Jim to try and weaken Greg. Everyone else got on board, and Jim was voted out unanimously.
It was a fun experience. Coming in here as an alternate, getting this far, I'm pretty excited. It's tough being an old man playing a young man's game, but make it to Final Six. I'm okay with that.
After the last Tribal Council, Austin was the final OG Alexa member remaining in the game, and felt like he needed to win immunity. In the DCP Staple Jeremy's Challenge, that's exactly what he did, guaranteeing Austin a spot in the Final Four. With Glam finally forced to turn on themselves, Greg's big target finally caught up with him. Alex played his idol, negating one vote against him, and Greg became the 7th member of the jury.
It's been amazing getting to play a game that I've loved since I was, 6 or 7 years old. And I've never done anything like this before. So I'm impressed with myself for having made it this far. Wish I could have gone all the way.
With the Final Four set, the players competed in what they thought was the final immunity challenge, in which they had to build a cup pyramid with their feet. Simmons finished first, earning him his 4th immunity win of the season, tying the record set by Jackie last season.
Just like that, Mike wins immunity.
Austin pitched Lily as the biggest threat, but the remaining Glam members stuck together, and Austin was voted out.
This is how Survivor works, I guess. So, is it weird to be the last member of the jury once again? You can attest to your own will at that, but I think that I've made a mark, and I'll gladly take that.
The finale began with the final 3 thinking they would pitch their case to the jury. However, in a surprise twist, there was still one last immunity to win. The final 3 had to answer trivia questions about the jurors in the old school Survivor Challenge Fallen Comrades.
Alright. Which jury member plays the French horn? Let's see the answers. Correct answer is John. Lily, you got it.
choice.
You just look like you play it, John. That's a compliment, by the way.
And fittingly, John has a picture of a French horn behind him.
Oh, I didn't even know that's.
In the end, Lily got the most correct, earning her the most important immunity of the season. Forced between 2 of her closest allies, it wasn't an easy decision, but Lily ultimately chose to vote out Simmons, and he became the 9th and final member of the jury.
For overall experience, I didn't even expect to be here, starting at the game. I was just hoping to maybe make the merge. I went on a little bit of a run, had a lot of fun, so shout out to everybody that made this happen. I enjoyed it, and I guess that's it.
With the final 2 set, now it was time to face the jury. Lily's pitch was about how she used her alliance as a shield and took big targets deep into the game so she would be protected.
I've kept big people in this game as a shield, No, my name never really came up because I was always somebody that was perceived to be sliding by, but I think a lot of you guys know that I've been in those strategic conversations. I've held my own in challenges, not that I've won one until now, but I wasn't always the first person voted out, even though I joked about it. I was able to use advantages or my advantage well. So I hope that you guys have been able to see that, or that I'm able to show that with the questions that you ask and our conversations moving forward.
Alex's pitch was about how he acted dumb during the game, but really knew what was going on, and how he controlled the votes.
I definitely also played up how young I am, how stupid I might be. I make decisions based on emotion. I knew what I was doing, and I hope I can prove that to you guys tonight, that I did know what I was doing every step of the way. Almost every time I went to vote, I knew exactly what was happening. I knew who was going home, and I knew how they were gonna go home. Hi, Lauren, I can see you there. It was true. I mean, like I said, every person I wanted to go home, besides the Andrew and Zucker votes, went home.
Both gave very strong pitches, but Alex's case resonated a little bit more with the jury. He won in a very close 5-4 vote and became the first winner of a DCP long game.
4 votes Lily, 4 votes Alex, 1 vote left. the winner of Survivor Exile Island, Alex.
Congrats, Alex.
Good job, Alex.
Good job, Alex.
Congrats, Alex.
Holy wow. Thank you guys.
With Exile over, next time, we'll be taking a look at our next mini, Iriki Island. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook for updates, and subscribe so you don't miss DCP All-Stars coming soon.